But here's the thing that's interesting. Between the expulsions, between the pogroms, between the Inquisition and so forth, they stayed. The Jews stayed. They never actually wanted to leave Europe. They never wanted to leave Europe, which is strange. I mean, like I said, Palestine was right there. Palestine was right there the whole time, door open. But you wanted to stay in Europe. No matter how bad things got, you didn't want to leave. Because at the end of the day, you are Europeans. That's your place. And because Europe is where the money was. Europe is where the power was. And they liked it. You liked it there. You liked it there until you didn't. Until Europe's own hatred of you became so total and so systematic and so industrial that staying was no longer viable, at least for a while. I mean, imagine that. Think about that. Supposedly, Palestine is your homeland, and you had complete freedom to voluntarily live there at any time over the course of over 1,000 years. But it was the last place on earth that you ever wanted to go, and it took the Holocaust to finally get you to leave Europe. That's how European you are. That's how European you are. Centuries of persecution, pogroms and whatnot, you put up with it. Anti-Jewish hatred, getting booted from country after country after country, and nothing could make you want to leave that miserable continent until Hitler and the Nazis. That's how much you loved Europe. And that's how little Palestine ever meant to you in all this time. No, Zionism is completely fake. If your family has been in Germany for 800 years, you're German. You're German. Your language is German, your food is German, your taste in food is German, your literature, your music, your sensibility, all of it's German. You know, the idea that a European Jew in the 18th century felt any sort of a deep ancestral pull to Palestine, the way the Zionists later try to manufacture, that's a fantasy. It's a complete fantasy. No, he's Viennese. He's from Warsaw. He's from Amsterdam. He doesn't know from Palestine, not at all. And again, I'll repeat it. He could have gone there if he wanted to. I think people are overlooking how important that fact is. Even though the Europeans hated you, you were still one of them and you wanted to stay with them, and the last place you wanted to go was Palestine. And the second reason that they wanted to stay in Europe, aside from the fact that they are Europeans, they wanted to stay in Europe because Europe was a depraved continent and still is until now. Now pay attention to what I'm saying here. Listen to me, because there's a lot of tropes about Jews corrupting Europe, that the Jews corrupted these good, upstanding, lily-white Christians in Europe and whatnot. And obviously that's the same propaganda that you still hear today. Because it can never be the case, right? It can never be the case that these so-called white people just do bad things because they just are bad. No, it can never be the case that they do the things they do because they just are the way they are. No, someone else always has to be to blame for their actions. No, you were bad enough in Europe. You were bad enough, with or without the Jews.